It's called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Okay.
And just to sum it up, it's basically the way that you think is the reason why you feel the way that you feel. So if you think feelings of insecurity, or if you're always thinking or always comparing yourself, I've actually made I tied Starve the Ego, Feed the Soul to comparing yourself on Instagram and social media and living according to likes and comments and things of that sort. And so when you are doing that and you're constantly comparing yourself and you're seeing how you don't add up and you don't do this and you lack this, all the things that you don't have is going to invoke feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, feelings of sadness, all these negative things. But
Testing 1 2. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Michael Jamel, aka Mike G, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Hot Tea and Incense podcast. Yes, sir. And I'm joined by none other than Mr. Mind Your Business himself, Larry Whitaker Jr. Y'all give it up for him. And what do you define yourself as, bro? Are you a motivational speaker? Are you a host? What do you define yourself as?
When I get that question, when people ask me, what do you do? To this day, right now, I get a little bit of anxiety.
Okay.
Because I just do so much.
A jack of all trades.
Yeah, a jack of all trades. But that's interesting because I used to combat the idea of jack of all trades. Because I felt like if you were a jack of all trades, you could never be 100% at, one thing. But even just this past year, I have come to understand that it's about, when it comes to these trades, the jack, speaking that way, it's about 100% focus and building that trade for that particular time. And so what am I? Let me go back to that question. Who am I? I am a son. I'm going to go all the way back. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm a grandson. I'm a great friend. But professionally, I'm a counselor. I'm definitely a counselor. On paper, my degree is school counseling.
Oh, nice.
But I'm into the mental health, the counseling, not just students, but people in general, just individuals in general.
That's just changed the rest of the interview right
there.
Oh,
for real?
Because I think mental health is a big topic, and this being about, healthy ways to relieve stress.
That's why the brand is the way it is,
just
bro.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an author.
Author?
Yep, I'm an author. I am a part of a book with 19 other authors.
Wow.
Yep, it's nice. Called the 99 and 2000 book. 99 and 2000 book. Yep, with Brenton.
Oh, okay.
With Brenton Sims, yeah.
It reminded me of that Juvenile.
Exactly. And it's supposed to register that for the millennials. So, you get that, and so you would know to read the book. But it's essentially a book about all of our success stories. All of our success stories. So I was asked, Brenton asked me to write in that book. So that was my first book that I was a part of, and we self-published that. So that was great. We was on Wavy TV 10 News.
Oh, wow.
So I'm an author. Definitely plan to drop another book, though.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
So before we jump right into
right, because we definitely...
I wanna forget. I wanna read the T captions.
Okay.
So we'll start off reading the T captions, and mine says, "What belongs to you shall come to you."
What belongs to you shall
I
come to you.
received that.
Okay, I gotta read mine now.
Yeah.
I got my slurp on the Mike. You must have self-respect. Only then can you respect somebody. You must have self-respect. Only
that's a
then
big
can
one
you
too.
respect somebody. Right.
Wow.
It's basically love.
Self-love.
That's what I think about. You can't love. You love others how you love yourself.
And that's a never-ending journey, bro. Which is
Yeah.
crazy. Because like anybody that tell you, oh, I just arrived, is probably lying.
Right.
Because it's going to be them days when old insecurities might come up and you be like, why am I feeling like this?
Yeah,
I thought I was
yeah.
beyond this.
Yeah.
And
think
yeah,
it
and
just comes
especially
with
with
the
you being in
territory.
the counseling too. Walk me through how that is for you, man. Like what are ways that you use or tactics that you do to kind of help people navigate through those feelings and insecurities?
Okay, very good question. So I could give you the professional,
Okay. Or the raw,
aspect, or but that's a great question though, because when my friends come to me and they ask me for advice, I always ask them, okay, which one do you want? Do you want my professional advice, or do you want it as a friend? Because I think they can definitely be different, because as a counselor, you're not supposed to invoke your feelings or your thoughts upon, the person, the individual.
You know
They're
what?
supposed to come, and so you're supposed to guide, like you said, help them navigate, help them guide their own thoughts, not put thoughts
You
inside
speaking
their
because
own.
like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're a counselor, right? I took therapy, right?
Okay,
And
which
then
is great. I did too.
I got
Changed my life.
frustrated though.
Okay, as you yeah, it happens.
Because you know how you usually talk to people, you like, am I right or am I wrong? That's what I'm waiting for her to tell me. But she would not tell me. She was like, I can't give you I'm like, what you just gonna keep, I want you to tell me, am I right or wrong? So now you're not supposed to give your opinion, is what it
No,
is.
you're not, because then if you go and do what she said was right or wrong, and it was wrong, then you're gonna come back and you're gonna blame her. So it's about taking, so she don't. Nah, but as a friend,
I apologize. I got frustrated with you.
as a friend though, you know them, and you can say, yeah, bro, you wrong. Yeah, sis, yeah, you in the wrong for that.
Okay.
But as a counselor, no, you're not supposed to. But how do I? So that's one way that one thing to keep into perspective. But I like to focus on, even with myself. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT.
Okay.
And just to sum it up, it's basically the way that you think is the reason why you feel the way that you feel. So if you think feelings of insecurity, or if you're always thinking or always comparing yourself, I've actually made I tied Starve the Ego, Feed the Soul to comparing yourself on Instagram and social media and living according to likes and comments and things of that sort. And so when you are doing that and you're constantly comparing yourself and you're seeing how you don't add up and you don't do this and you lack this, all the things that you don't have is going to invoke feelings of depression, feelings of anxiety, feelings of sadness, all these negative things. But if you stop comparing yourself and you're like, okay, that's them. That's their goal. That's the way they dress, the way they talk, the way they eat, the places that they go, their dream. That's their dream. What is mine? Or how can I find mine? Once you have that, that's when you will, begin to have the opposite feelings of empowerment, feelings of self-actualization, as they call it. You're coming into your real self. But that self-actualization comes from your counselor not answering yes or no. Because you have to become you're out and you're like, okay, after all these sessions, it's like, okay, I know right from wrong. She's not telling me or he's not telling me, but based on the sessions and the skills that I've, taught or been taught, I know I can handle myself a little bit more when it comes to, whatever it may be. So that's kind of like how I help navigate. Because I remember sitting in class, because my bachelor's is in social work. I'm a Norfolk State grad too.
Yes, sir.
Let me not say that.
Shout out to
Two-time
NSU.
Norfolk State
Master.
alum. Yeah, I got my master's.
Come
My
on now.
bachelor's was in social work, master's in school counseling, and my bachelor's. When I was doing when I was in class, I remembered my professor, Professor Bethea, Dr. Bethea. She was writing on the board. She said actions lead to thoughts, and thoughts lead to feelings, and I think feelings lead to reactions or something like that. But it was basically an action happens, and then you have a thought about the action, and then you have a feeling, and then that feeling would be what you react out of.
Okay.
So when you like, I literally remember her, and it has literally changed my whole perspective, bro.
Wow.
Because like I've gone to counseling. I'm not even gonna lie, I've gone to counseling. When I was in college, I had gone to counseling because I just felt like, I grew up in the church. I'm a man of faith. I grew up in the church, but it was just a point where church couldn't save me. The altar wasn't saving me. I felt like the altar wasn't saving me. I didn't have nobody else to reach out to that did not know me, and so I reached out to the Norfolk State counseling department.
Now that's
and
what's
then
up,
they set me up with journaling. Yeah, so
they did recommend that.
Man, journaling saved my life.
Okay,
journaling saved my life.
So we got journaling, but one thing I want to key on that you said is that thought thing. Because I know there is a scripture, so a man thinketh, so is he, but they break it down to the things of like, oh, I want to be this person. But it's even bigger than you saying, if I'm constantly comparing, then I'm always going to be feeling lack.
Always.
So one thing to attack for the people that got those problems is your thoughts. Stop thinking about yourself in comparison to those other people. These are all, again, ways to feed the soul.
Feed the soul, right. Ways
and starve the ego.
And starve the ego, because starving the ego is starving the desire to be accepted by society. That's what I package starving the ego is. And feeding the soul is feeding the God-given desire, or the divine desire, within you. Because we do that, we compare ourselves so much. But that's just trying to be like the Joneses. When it's like, what's my path? What is my destiny? I see that my parents have done this. My friends are doing this. Society is doing, and that's a big one right now. Society is doing this. But as when it comes to my values and what I need, and this could also be towards, like when we talk about feeding your soul, it means removing yourself from toxic relationships, behaviors, all of that. And so it's a really tough thing to do. I don't want, it sounds pretty, feed the soul, but just like self-reflection sounds easy, but it's a tough thing to do because it challenges you to face yourself. And we act like the ego is not powerful, bro. The ego is extremely powerful, and we can't fake like it's not. So whatever we feed is definitely going to become us. But like I said, I grew up in the church, so that's nothing but starving the flesh, feeding the spirit, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely a parallel.
You just did a whole paradigm shift with that one.
It's a parallel.
That's one, and it's crazy because that's where I'm at now. As I walk deeper with God and trying to align with His Word more. It's like I realize I've been conditioned for so long to be in the flesh that even when your intentions is to walk in the spirit, every now and then in the flesh you just be like, bam, you be like, why do I want to do this?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's supposed to be a struggle.
It's like Paul,
struggle.
Yeah, you literally talking about Paul. Yeah, you're taking this in the scripture now. But yeah, Paul, when he talked about, that thorn always being by his side, or in his side. Him saying when he said that he wants to do right, but evil is always beside him. So it is a constant struggle, and it's not just like, we got to think of it, not it being something so just out there, like a thorn being just I can't even. We have to consider it being something like the things we don't really think about. Those are the thorns. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not something that may be out in the open and blatant, but it could be how you were brought up. That's conditioned in the way that you think. That's a thorn in your side that can never leave you, but you can only learn how to walk with it. You know what I mean? So like people passing away. My father passed away. That's now a thorn.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine, bro. And then, that's a whole nother story, but that's
Yeah.
a thorn in my side. And it's like, God removed this thorn. And God is like, no, I'm not removing this. But one thing God will do is show you how to navigate it and empower you to walk through it. So yeah, bro, that's a lesson for life. For the things that we can't control, that's one way to feed the soul. For the things that we cannot control, it's a matter of learning to live with it. And it may be lifelong or it may be temporary. But it's learning to live with it, because some things don't come unless some situations don't change unless our mindset, changes. I think that's a lot of times why these levels and these testings come, is to, switch our mindset to prepare us for the next level. So if we never switch, it's just, God, like, all right, let's run this level again. Let's run this level again. But if we treat it like Squid Games,
Hey,
we might be a little different.
So like my boy John had said something about it on the last episode, and I went and watched it, right? And I didn't even connect the dots.
Oh, you didn't even watch Squid Games?
I watched it now.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay. Oh,
But
man. I was
like, bruh, are they talking about life as we know it? Like, but in a different way.
Right.
Because the people that are in poverty, it's like they know they don't have no other choices. So it's like, we ain't gonna force you, but what else you gonna do?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
back against the wall.
That's crazy. So I want to cross over.
Yeah, definitely. Because we can go all night.
I know that feeds.
I'm a talker. I'm also a talker.
Feed the spirit, starve the flesh. But mind your business. I want to get into mind your business.
Mind your business.
How did that come about?
Pop-up shop. So
first, let the people know what it is.
Mind Your Business pop-up shop is. I was about to give him the whole pitch, but I'm gonna just sum it up and say the dope meaning. We come to your city, we pop up in your city, and we bring exposure to the Black-owned businesses within that city. We have events, different type of events, but the way that it started, Mind Your Business pop-up shop. It was me and Robert Garris. We both students at Norfolk State University. Summer of 2019, Rob came to me because I do custom T-shirts. You know, my brand, I made all my T-shirts, off my refund check. That's another story.
So you already had the
Star the Eagle Feed the Soul.
Man,
you caught
look,
that.
For all those college students out there.
Hey, that's a book coming, bro. It's gonna be a book. How to start your business off your refund check.
Come on,
bro. I'm trying to tell you, it's a money hack.
That is fire. I want to dap you up with that one, bro.
It's a money hack.
Because I wish
bro.
I would have did something like that with mine.
It was my last one. Sadly, I blew
I
all
was
of
like,
them.
I think I got a car with one of them too. So that was all right.
I did too.
But
yeah, cars great investments. But then what were we saying?
Mind your business. You and Rob.
Oh, where me and Rob was
Norfolk
State.
T-shirts.
So I was making my shirts, and Rob came to me because he has this brand, this black brand. So he came to me, and he was like, "Larry, make my shirts." And so I was making the shirts and whatnot. And then we sat down one day, and we were like, "Okay, well, how are we going to sell these shirts outside of just being online?" Because we didn't want to go to the mall to get a store or get a kiosk or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought, well, there are other people that have brands and businesses that want to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then we were like, okay, well, let's just make it an event. So you got to think, like, we're students at this point, so we're in the event hosting type of mode. So it was nothing to just think about hosting an event. And so we put an event together, got our friends to host it and to help plan it. And then when it came to the name, because everybody loves the name, but when it came to the name, I had said, well, what are we going to call it? Mm-hmm. And I think Rob was like, what are we going to call it? And I was like, well, what are the people doing in the space? Mm-hmm. And I was like, they're minding their business. But I think it was Rob's idea to have the pop-up shop. Did it close?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, but I think it was Rob's idea to have the pop-up shop. Mm-hmm. I had to go back and look at my own history. But it's been so much that has happened when it comes to the pop-up shop. So I know you want to talk about New York, but before New York, our idea is to pop up in different cities. And we want to bring the exposure.
Stop.
Yeah.
Drop. Shut them down. Open up shop.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That gotta be our anthem, bro. Just they be like, what the heck? And
No, for
and it's so
real.
positive. The energy is so positive. I think that's another thing. You know what I mean? That adds to it. And like to watch the growth from when y'all first started to where y'all at now with the location.
Right.
It's amazing, bro. So
Right.
salute to you guys.
We
on that.
definitely appreciate it. And we thank you for coming out and rocking the house on multiple occasions.
Already.
Mike G don't play no games when it comes to that sax, let me tell you.
Hey, appreciate that, bro.
No games. Every
Appreciate
time, bro. Always a showstopper. And people always leave talking about how great you did.
Appreciate that, man. So, about that trip to New York, how was that popping up in the Big Apple? So
New
they say.
York was great. Rob got this partnership with Harlem Nights Bar and Lounge.
Okay.
Great people over there. And he brought the idea to them, showed them what we do in Virginia here. And they loved the idea. So we set up shop there, had all New York or New Jersey vendors, which was great because, like we said, we weren't from there.
Wow.
So just the love was there, the energy was there. The people were different, you know, and that's kind of like what I like because, you know, I've done pop-up shops in Miami, not with Mind Your Business, but, you know, just with my own brand, just doing pop-up shops. But every city that you go, people can be different, like personality-wise, or just as entrepreneurs, the hunger, you know, is a little different. But in New York, you know, it's a lot of hustling, you know, as you can expect.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so they are definitely about their business, which is something that we respect. But they also are definitely, you know, lovers, you know. So the vibe, like I said, the vibe and energy was there. The relationships are definitely solid relationships. They're wondering when we're gonna come back. So
Word.
New York is definitely in the plans, man. But I want to go to Miami next. Yeah. Everybody, you know, Rob wanted New York. That was the deal. We was like, okay, Rob, if you get New York, then let me have Miami. So that's the plan.
Facts.
And then but then, you know, Charlotte, Atlanta, all of that's on the list. All of that's on the list. But yeah, so that's the traveling aspect. But New York was great. New York was great.
Yeah, it sounds like a city I need to go to, man.
You never been?
I haven't. I think I've been as a kid, like one of those kid trips that you don't even like remember. So now I'm like, yeah, I gotta go as an adult and be like,
How old are you, bro?
30.
You have to go to New York.
It's a vibe.
You have to go. You have to, because you haven't been.
And I think I gotta hit the subway too.
You ever been on the subway?
They say like the musicians be out there. It might be cut.
Oh,
They might,
man. I ain't even know. I forgot the fact that you are a musician.
it might be like,
Oh,
hey,
you
cut.
would go crazy.
Nah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
for the
gonna
next-
go, bro. I'm definitely gonna go. It's just
For the next pop-up shop, you should come. For the one in New York. That
okay.
would be crazy, bro.
I'm with that. I'm with it.
Yeah. I think people would enjoy that. A taste of Virginia, coming to New York, coming to Harlem.
So before we get out of here, I just want to touch on your inspirations, man. What inspired you? Like, who inspired you to do what you do, and how that type of perspective?
What perspective?
Just the open perspective that you have on helping the community. What are some of your inspirations? I know Malcolm X is
Just
one.
Yeah, Malcolm X, definitely.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Malcolm.
Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. too. That's my frat brother. So
Word.
most definitely. But all the black leaders, bro. Black male leaders and female. Not all, but you know the ones that fought for the right causes.
Facts.
But when it comes to, excuse me, just being, like you said, having an open mind, hunger for knowledge, and willing to help others. That's really what I think it is. I have a servant heart. At the root and the core of everything is just me literally wanting to help other people. Not just have everything for myself, but wanting to help other people. And I honestly, from the beginning, I can only equate that to I can only give that to the church, to my church, because that was the earliest teachings that I had. You know,
be a servant.
was to be a servant, and but not that serving was bad though.
Yeah.
You know that through serving you learn skill, and through skill. That's how people end up serving you because they're trying to still learn the skill.
Facts.
But outside of that,
describing slavery right now.
oh damn! I mean,
No, in a good way, but in a good way and a bad way, because it's like if you look at the disparities, clearly it looked like we just was blessed to be more athletic, and you see what I'm saying. But it's like, is it like because we was doing all the work? You know what I mean? And like naturally we just got strong and skilled, and then
that's a point.
you see what I'm saying? Like now technically we got way more skills, but you just got the power in a situation. So then that fear can come into play. If you know that, you like, okay, we know we messed up by being served so much. Now we gotta hold on to that power by any means necessary, which is all this different stuff that goes on. We're like, no,
because we can't even fathom being at that level again.
And then what I also think, like, imagine if you knew like the heritage that went back on the other side, like you white, right? And you know, like, okay, we enslaved your grandparents, and then they didn't have access to knowledge, but you know the disparities, and then you like, now they can get to the knowledge. It's like, you know that if it was you in that place, you'll want revenge. You see what I'm saying? Because if your heart was evil enough to enslave somebody like that, then you know on the flip side, you thinking, oh, they're gonna want to just destroy us. But a lot of times, it's just equal. We're not a vengeful type of a people to want to be like, oh, let me just go and kill or enslave or revolt in that way. We just want to live peacefully, equally, and happy.
Yeah, that's always been our history.
You see what I'm saying? Which is weird. That was a tangent, but
right. No, I feel you though, because they can only equate that to Nat Turner, you know, but nobody else went. Virginia, by the way, but nobody else went and, well, you know, at mass killed, you know, white people or any other that's just not us.
And even that's understand, because that was like a revolt at that point. It's like, it's understandable,
right?
Because it's not like he just was like chilling and it was like, let me just go kill a bunch of white people.
That's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say, what I was about to say was, still the serving is, it was still taught in love. Like, you're doing this out of love, you know? So it wasn't just all about skill and discipline and all of that, but definitely love. Because I like literally my speaking, motivational speaking, being comfortable, standing in front of a classroom started standing in front of the church reading the scripture. You know, so little stuff like that, and that we don't really think about. You know, that's why I was like, that self-reflection really is key, because it can show you positive and negative things within your past. But that's where my servanthood came from, and then my hunger for knowledge was definitely my dad. You know, because he loved knowledge. He used to come every day before he went out to work. He would come and sit on my bed and just spit wisdom, like just spit knowledge. And he spoke in metaphors a lot of times. You would find sticky notes and all of that. So that's a lot of times. Right. Shout out to my father,
yes,
little Larry, Earl Whitaker.
That's fire though, bro,
Singing.
because it's like heritage. You know what I mean?
It's definitely heritage.
Yeah,
It's
passed down.
definitely
I know he'd be
heritage
proud.
passed down. Thank you. But yeah, family is definitely is the root. Yep.
Word. Well, appreciate you for coming on, man. This is crazy. This is one of the ones we got so deep into
Me
it. Just
too. I don't even know how
kept
long
going.
we've been going.
I know, right? But let them know where they can find you at. Get that inspiration and get that soul food.
You all can find me at Mr. Whitaker. That's MisterWhitaker on Instagram. And also follow Mind Your Business on Instagram. Mind Your Biz Pop Up. That's BIZZ. Mind Ya YA. Mind Your Biz Pop Up.
Mind ya. Yes, sir.
And Starve the Ego, Feed the Soul at ste.fts. And I appreciate y'all so much for listening.
Facts. Starve the ego, feed the soul. I think I need to see that on a Yogi tag.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Shout out to Yogi, man. Y'all need to put my man's on one of those.
You're talking about right here?
Yeah, I need to see this on a T caption, man. That's a T caption in itself.
They better not do it without. You know what? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my own.
Yeah, get your own, bro. That's how you do
get my
it.
own T tags.
But again, you've been listening to the Hot Tea and Incense podcast, man. I hope you enjoyed the session. Y'all be blessed and sip slow. Peace.
Sip slow.